Hello. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen, and this is No More Water, Fire. Next time, I'm not talking about politics tonight. I have another interesting topic. It's about the church, mostly the black church, because that's what black people mostly are talking about. The black church and what they think the black church owes to the community. Many churches, this series is, we're here to serve the community. Many churches have that in their logo. And many people feel that, with the upcoming SNAP benefits being cut, that maybe the churches need to fill in the role and help feed people. And many of them are saying the church is obligated to serve the community. As a matter of fact, on TikTok and much of the social media, they sort of tears the black church down. Black people, the white people don't say white church, but the black people say it's black church. But many people say, is the church obligated to serve the community? I say no. No, I know you're looking at me funny. What is the role of the church? To preach the gospel to people to be saved and for the assembly of the saints. Anything else is they're just helping out. The church is not obligated to feed you. They just do it. And sometimes you can help a person and you've been doing something for so long until people think you're obligated to do it. See, in the early church, in the Bible, they didn't even allow sinners in the congregation of the saints. See, they were like a commune. It was the early sign of communism, but it was in a good way. But they were like a commune, and they didn't allow sinners in the congregation of the saints. They went out and evangelized. And after they became believers, then they came into the congregation of the saints. But times have changed. We have such a large, so many people now. The population has increased, so you can't. So now sinners are allowed to come and sit and listen to the gospel. All are welcome in the church now. But many feel the church is obligated to feed them when they're hungry, clothe them when they're naked. The church can do that, but their first obligation is to their members and the saints. Because does the community support the church? No. If the roof blew off the church and the members was out there fixing it, you gonna see the community out there helping to fix it? No. But if the church got something to give away, you'll see all of you would be out there then. See, many people have gotten church mixed up with these mega churches you see on the internet, who some of them have ran scams. Most of these churches don't have that kind of money. They don't have that kind of money. You got the wrong idea of church. And if you see a church with 300 people in it, probably really 50 or 60 the one who's really supporting the church. Everyone in the church don't give money and they don't make them. Church is the only place you can go where you not forced to pay. Don't look at that stuff you see on the internet. That's just some silly stuff you're seeing from some churches, but the church don't force you to pay anything. They will compel you to because you should. What else can you be a member of and be there for years and sit up in there? You sit up in there and don't help support it. Nowhere else. They will kick you out. But the church lets you stay there. You can get the air in the summertime, the heat in the wintertime, and know you haven't paid a dime in years. No place else can you do that. Many churches have outreach ministries which help people, But they're doing it out of benevolence, out of compassion, not out of obligation. So don't get it twisted. You know when the church started really doing like outreach ministry, the church didn't used to do that. Back in the, like 1940s, 50s, it started with the civil rights movement. That's when the church started getting involved in other things. Because see, many of the churches wouldn't allow Martin Luther King to come up in their church. They said he's trying to bring the world up in the church. They wouldn't allow him in. Who mostly allowed him in was the Baptist and Methodist church. There wasn't a lot of black non-denominational church back then because now most of the outreach ministries who's feeding people now are Baptist churches and non-denominational churches. That's how I got started when with the civil rights movement. The church started helping out with a lot of things, and now people feel that the church is obligated to do it. The church is obligated to its members and the saints. That's what it's obligated to. Everyone else, they're just helping you. The only thing they're obligated to give anyone who's not one of their members or the saints is the word of God unto salvation. If they do any more for you, that's just because they want to, not because they're obligated to. Okay, what does the community give to the church? How does the community help the church? What is the community? Who does the community give to? The liquor store, the Arab store, the weed man, the hustlers, anybody but the church. As soon as you get in trouble, the church, you think the church is supposed to be there obligated for you and be ready to cuss them out if you can't get any help. But you don't support the church. You support everyone but the church, but you want the church to support you. I'm gonna play something for you real quick. Listen to this. This is now. That's gonna the language used in this is not very good language. So you gotta remember this is not a religious broadcast. So just listen, because you know how people do on these videos. So the language is not very good language. So, but watch this. What is that?
What I find kind of odd with this EBT situation going on, there's one group of people that I have yet to see make any comment about a solution to help these people. And that group of people are your reverends, your bishops, your deacons, your pastors. I haven't seen not one person come on here and actually let the people know you don't have to go rush the store because we are your church. There's probably 50 churches in every community. Why aren't they trying to pull together to pull resources to help the people out? I think I got the reasons for that. Because they've been about self from day one. It's always about gimme, gimme, gimme. And the killer part about all of that is all these people, especially our elder, but all these people being given to the churches forever. And they get subsidized by the government. Yes, the government shut down. Who cares about that when it comes to them? And I'm going to tell you why. They've been collecting money for many years. They're purchasing humongous homes. They're giving their daughters and sons extravagant weddings. They're doing all of this. But where are they at now? You can preach about what needs to be done in our community. But are you actually out there putting in the legwork to help some of these people in the community? So I'm saying to the people, go to your churches, go to your pastors. And see, the last thing that I want to hear from any of these pastors is, oh, well, they're not a member of my church. I'm not supposed to help them. But I thought you were God's people. You see, I didn't believe that God just chose the people that stood right there next to him. I thought God chose the people to help the people in need. So everyone, I suggest go to your local churches. Get them involved.
See how ridiculous he sounds. Where's the church? How's the church obligated to do all of that? Where are you at when the church is in need? Is the community there for the church? Churches have light bills to pay, so they're collecting money. What organization you know that has members that don't collect money? Come on, you know, I don't hear anyone talking about the mosque or the synagogue. They don't ask anything about what the Jew, what the Muslims does with their money. No one's going to them expecting to be fed. Because you know, if you go to them, you're going to have to pay for that fish sandwich and bean pie. No one asks what happened to the money from the Million Man March because really it's not none of their business what happened to it. If you're going to give, give. If you're not, don't. And the people who you hear complaining haven't gave a dime to the church. See, they think they can go drink, go to the liquor store, support them, buy all their beer, buy their drugs, and get high, then come to the church and eat. That's what somebody like him want to do, cause he talk like a fool. Church like the church don't supposed to take up money. The church is not subsidized by the government. It's non-exempt, but you got a lot of organizations that's non-exempt. What about your sororities? What are they doing for you? Not a thing. These churches are not obligated to take care of the community. They may do it, but they're not obligated to. They don't. People don't ever wonder about how much it costs. A lot of churches just can't do it, and if they could, it's up to them if they decide if they want to do it. So you all got it twisted. Sometimes, have you ever helped a person and been good to them and helping them for a long time, just out of goodness of your heart? But then they get to the place where they think you're obligated to help them. It's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to many of you. No one's the church. The church is not obligated to do nothing for you. It's not obligated to do nothing for the community. You got the government, the federal government, the state government, the county government, the city government helping you. When you gonna do something for yourself? Can't everybody help you? Now, the church not obligated to feed you. They feed you because they want to. So don't get it twisted. You don't go anywhere else expecting anything for free. But you want to come to church and get everything for free. And then when you got money, do the community, people in the community ever stop by the church sometime and drop something in? Even the people who the church helped, they're doing good now. Do they ever stop to think to come back and give some money to the church because the church helped them? Or you see the church in need of a roof, do the community come and help? Or in need of some repairs? Do the community come and help the church? But you want them running up helping you. That's not their job. They may make it a mission of theirs, but it's not their job. There's a difference between someone doing a mission and doing a job. When they do that as a mission, it's doing it because they chose to, not because they have to. Now, listen to this. There's some people talking about running up in stores, stealing, because if they don't get the SNAP benefits. Yeah, you do it if you want to. Then what you gonna do? Think the church supposed to come get you out of jail? You want them to do that too? Because a lot of you do that. You expect the church to get you out of jail, expect the church to feed you, pay your rent. What are you gonna do? And many people come to the church for that. And many of them get it. And then go back and talk against the church and the pastor. Oh, the preacher getting all the money. Most pastors don't even touch that money. They have a board. You know, they have an administrative staff. Most pastors don't even touch that money. And most of the people who talking that crap, it's people who don't even go to church. I'll tell you why. Because look, my mother had been to church, going to church all her life. I should go with. That was she had been to that church we had been to that church for years. Okay. I'm not gonna say the name of the church because I was a kid then. My mother's sister came to the church one time in about 20 years or so. But do you know my mother there every Sunday, but learn about stuff that was going on at the church from her sister. What happened was one of the church trustees on Saturday nights played Pokino with my mother's sister, with my aunt. And she would tell all the church business out at the Pokino game. My mother's sister, who came to the church one time in 20 years, knew more about what was going on in the inner workings of the church than my mother, who was there every Sunday. See, you church members, you need to stop talking against your church. Why are you there if you're going to go and talk against your church and your pastor? That's a low down thing to do. I think it is. I think it's a low down thing to do for you to go back and talk against your church and your pastor. And you're a trustee too? But the reason I say this is because these people talking about running up in these stores, stealing, that's going to be on you. That's on you. You go commit a crime, that's on you. Because look, you're talking about all the churches need to open their doors. They don't have to open nothing unless they want to. And I'm going to tell you, if you notice, the churches that do help people are the Baptist church and now the non-denominational church. Back in the civil rights movement, they didn't have a lot of non-denominational church. The Methodist church helped out in the civil rights movement, but they didn't help with people. Then after that, the Baptist churches for feeding people. Now you have many non-denominational church and Christian churches doing it. But the Church of God in Christ and the Apostolic Church, most of them not going to give you nothing. They wouldn't even help out in the civil rights movement. They don't help out in anything with the community, but that's their choice. You know, there's nobody go to them talking about helping in the community because they know they're not getting anything from them. The Church of God in Christ, no, you're not getting nothing from the Kojic. You better feed yourself. They'll help their members, though. I got to give them that. And you know, and that's their choice. If they choose to just help their members and the saints, that's their choice. But if they choose to have outreach and do things to people for people in the community, that would be their choice also. But I tell you though, the community don't do nothing but the church. They don't see you till they have a giveaway. Then you go and criticize, oh, I thought they was going to give this. I thought they was going to give that. But you don't have to take it. And most of you people talk against these preachers, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't go to church anyway. You don't know what the pastor got. They talk about, oh, the preacher got these nice cars. A lot of them work. That's why a lot of people you see in leadership position, they work. Some of these, a lot of these preachers has money before they became the pastor of that church. I remember a long time ago, a pastor, he was the pastor of one of the leading churches in town. But he drove this old Chevy. People talked about him so bad, but they must not pay him enough money. Just talked about him. So later he got him a brand new Cadillac. Oh, there he goes stealing all the people money buying a Cadillac. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Yeah, but listen to this. Watch this. Let me show you how some people think they're entitled.
I'm gonna tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking and I'm not. Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, oh, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say, ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the fuck out. And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass if you think I ain't finna walk out that stuff. And please follow me to that motherfucking car if you feeling motherfucking froggy, bitch. You ain't gonna make it back to your motherfucking position at that fucking Walmart store. I'm telling you. You wanna take some link? Like I don't be taking shit already. Watch this. It's okay.
Well, I'd like to hear tell the police that. I know the language is bad, but you know how these people are doing these TikTok videos. It's not, this is not a church trivia. This is a podcast. So you may hear some things like that. But look, let her go ahead and try it. See what happens when people think they're owed something. Let her go ahead and try it. She thinks she's the only one, her and her cousin, the only one who can punch. And that security hit you with that taser. Let's see how much food your kids eat. Then they probably eating some at the child services office. I might owe you nothing. Don't owe you anything. And here's one woman. She thinks Trump said they can get the groceries. Watch this.
Ma'am, stop right there. Put your hands on the car.
I'm not stealing. The president said I could have this food.
Ma'am, step away from the exit.
Y'all are harassing me for groceries. I didn't ring a thing up because it's free now.
That's not how it works. Turn around, place your hands behind your back.
No, you can't do this.
Cuffing left wrist.
This ain't over.
Huh?
My, how people think they're so entitled. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes people can get things done for them for so long until they think it's owed to them. You know, that's why I was talking about with the church. Now they saying the church better help them. Church ain't better do nothing for you. They help you if they want to. They don't owe you anything. Let me take a quick break and I'll be right back. I'm gonna play this video for you. And I'll be right back. I have to go take a break.
I'm sad because it's a lot of folk who got a lot of stuff to say who don't have any clue how things are constructed, how things are paid. See, we love talking about what the black church needs to do, and the black church should be doing this here, and the black church should be doing that, and the black church should be doing this when it comes to home ownership. The black church should be doing this. The black church should be out here campaigning. We want the black church to do everything. But how many people ever go, I wonder how much this stuff costs? Now, I get it. It's some charlatans out there, like that fool so-called bishop with that storefront church in New York who wore all designer stuff, who was stealing money, sitting his ass in federal prison. Oh, I get that. There's some other people who sitting here, they pastor very small churches that got barely any budget, but they driving a Rolls Royce. Oh, I totally get all of that. But this is stupid. This is silly. This is childish. And it's real simple. If you one of those folk who don't go to church and you are atheist or you don't like any of them, that's fine. Mind your own business. But here's what I do know.
See, that's what I mean by people think the church owe them something. And most of them talking themselves never put a dime in the church. They never put a dime in the church. We have to think the church owe them. Listen to Roland one more time. I want you to hear
I'm
him
saying
one more
because
time.
it's a lot of folk who got a lot of stuff to say who don't have any clue how things are constructed, how things are paid. See, we love talking about what the black church needs to do, and the black church should be doing this here, and the black church should be doing that, and the black church should be doing this when it comes to home ownership. The black church should be doing this. The black church should be out here campaigning. We want the black church to do everything. But how many people ever go, I wonder how much this stuff cost? Now, I get it. It's some charlatans out there, like that fool so-called bishop with that storefront church in New York who wore all designer stuff, who was stealing money, sitting his ass in federal prison. Oh, I get that. There's some other people who sitting here, they pastor very small churches that got barely any budget, but they driving a Rolls Royce. Oh, I totally get all of that. But this is stupid. This is silly. This is childish. And it's real simple. If you one of those folk who don't go to church and you are atheist or you don't like any of them, that's fine. Mind your own business. But here's what I do know.
I'm gonna tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the fuck out. And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass if you think I ain't finna walk out that stuff. And please follow me to that motherfucking car if you feeling motherfucking froggy, bitch. You ain't gonna make it back to your motherfucking position at that fucking Walmart store. I'm telling you. You wanna take some link? Like I don't be taking shit already. Watch this. It's okay.
She's nothing but a piece of trash. Whoever had babies with her needs his head examined. She's thinking employees not gonna follow her out. Somebody with a taser and a gun gonna follow her out. And when they hit her with that taser, and nobody's paying you. I guess she gonna call the preacher. I think the preacher's supposed to pay her bail. Because they expect the church to do everything for them. Feed you, clothe you. And you want everything from the church except to hear the gospel of Christ and get saved. You want everything from the church but that. Now, the church will help you. The church will help you out of compassion, not out of obligation. The church is here to preach the gospel to you, for you to be saved, and for the congregation of the saints. If they decide to do something, they help them. That benevolent fund is really for their members. But if they had decided to help other saints or people outside the church, that's out of compassion, not out of obligation. Because they, like I said before, the civil rights movement, the church didn't do outreach ministry. They wouldn't even let Martin Luther King come into the church, most of them. They say he's going to bring the world into the church. But see, the thing about it is, so that after that, the church decided to start help feeding people and helping out. But people have gotten to the place where they think the church is not obligated to help them. It's not. The church will help you, but it's out of compassion, not out of obligation. You've helped people before who you've helped a lot. And then one time when you couldn't help them, they got angry with you, didn't they? They thought you were just obligated to help them. What do the church is not obligated to run the community and look out for the community. It's look out for the saints and preach salvation. But look, what does the community do for the church? Who does the community do something for? The liquor store, the Arab store, the weed man, everybody but the church. Is it a church in your community you ever just drop some money off to? So I was passing by and I wanted to give a donation. But when you want a donation, you come that quick. You got some people who come into church on Sunday morning think they're going to get some money. Oh, you're going to preach all the money. Most preachers don't even touch that money. They have an administrative staff to deal with all of that. And what Roland Martin had said when I played his video, I agreed with him till he started talking about the preacher at the storefront church with the Rolls Royce. If he got a Rolls Royce, believe me, he didn't buy that Rolls Royce getting money from a storefront church. You know how much a Rolls Royce costs. If he had that Rolls Royce, he may have had it. See, many preachers already have money before they become a pastor or come to the church. Because and that's why they may have a nice car. Now, how's a storefront church gonna buy a preacher a Rolls Royce? 15 members, and he been getting a Rolls Royce off of them. See, I agree with Roland until he got to that part, cause he made a lot of sense. Let me play him one more time.
I'm sad because it's a lot of folk who got a lot of stuff to say who don't have any clue how things are constructed, how things are paid. See, we love talking about what the black church needs to do, and the black church should be doing this here, and the black church should be doing that, and the black church should be doing this when it comes to home ownership. The black church should be doing this. The black church should be out here campaigning. We want the black church to do everything. But how many people ever go, I wonder how much this stuff costs? Now, I get it. It's some charlatans out there, like that fool so-called bishop.
I agree with him till you get to this part.
York, who wore all designer stuff, who was stealing money, sitting his ass in federal prison. Oh, I get that. There's some other people who sitting here, they pastor very small churches that got barely any budget, but they driving a Rolls Royce. Oh, I totally get all of that. But this is stupid. This is silly. This is childish. And it's real simple. If you one of those folk who don't go to church and you are atheist or you don't like any of them, that's fine. Mind your own business. But here's what I do know.
That's right. Mind your own business. If you don't like what's going on in church, no one's making you come. Cause you talk about most of the people talking against the church are the ones who don't come anyway. They don't go to church anyway. You haven't put in a dime. And if you go to the average church, if you got probably just a quarter of the people, the ones that actually support the church. Many of them don't really. A lot of people in church don't give any money. A lot of those envelopes have quarters and dimes and $1 bill in it. There's a few people who actually financially support the church. And that point where Roland Martin said about the preacher with the Rolls Royce at a church with no budget, and you know he didn't get that Rolls Royce off of a church with no budget. More than likely he already had that car. Maybe if you had a pastor there where he was driving an old buggy, you say, oh, you talk about him, and he want to inspire you to do better. I told you about the pastor who was one of the main churches in town where I'm at. He used to drive an old Chevy. People used to make fun of him, laugh. I'm thinking, well, they must not be paying him enough. I told you he finally bought a new Cadillac. They talking about he must be sure he goes stealing the church money. Can't win either way. If you drive a new car, he's stealing the church money. If he decides just to drive a regular car, the church must not be paying him enough. Come on, make up your mind. See, the thing about it, it's good God not judging people like you are. Or have, well, yours is an opinion, because you can't do nothing about it. So you can't see, so many times we get judgment and opinion are mixed up. See, one thing about when you're judging, that means you can affect the outcome. That's what a judge can do. If you can't, you just give an opinion. Let's say we're at a talent show. I say number 1 should win. You say number 3 should win. We're giving an opinion. Those people sitting there behind the desk, they're called judges because they can affect the outcome. So unless you can do something about something, all you're doing is giving your opinion. But your opinion about these preachers, keep it to yourself. If you don't want to go to church, don't go. If you look, you're living this social media life, you see a few bad pastors on social media. Big mega church telling people like they say what Marvin Winans did. That wasn't a good look. I don't know the whole story of the thing, but that wasn't a good look. When he clowned a woman about giving $1,200 instead of $2,000, that wasn't a good look. It was about 30-second video. That wasn't a good look though. But You don't see that very often because I know preachers, I know pastors who have sold their house to help pay off the church mortgage. Most of these churches don't have that kind of money, but you're looking at social media and thinking that all churches operating off a $5 million budget or something. Well, they raise billions of dollars a year. Yeah. Do you worry about what other organizations raise? Look how many churches there is, though. Of course, they're going to raise some money. They raise it for their church, not for you. If you want some money, go get a job. I mean, it's big. Think you're going to live off the church? I don't care what religion you are. Facts is facts. Cause like I said, you're not going to the mosque for no food. You should be ready to pay for that fish and bean pie. They're not going to give you nothing. Go to synagogue. You're not getting nothing. It's only the Christian church that people want to clown all the time. And what does that tell you? But yet, they're the only ones you can get something from who will help you. But they've helped you so much, now you think they're obligated to do it. I know a lot of churches in the area that help people, have outreach ministries, and it's good. But they're not obligated. They're doing it because they want to, not because they have to. But you've been getting good from them for so long, you think they have to. And still get on social media and clown. Well, you're clowning yourself, really. You think you're clowning the church, but you're really clowning yourself because you don't know what you're talking about. Yet, let something go wrong. That same church you was clowning, that you want to depend on, bring your relatives to have a funeral. Oh, and by the way, now something gonna have to be done. If you have a relative who's a little thug and something happened to him or whatever, y'all need to quit coming in that church lighting it up with the smell of weed. If you got smoke, then if they start putting some ushers or some of them big brothers at the door and tell you can't come in here smelling like that, now you're going to have something else to talk about. And I hope they do start it. People have to have some respect. They get to the place now they wearing caps and hats in the church. Now I know we're not there for a fashion show, but you got to show some respect. I can understand if you have some type of problem, like something, got some problem about with your head or something. Other than that, why are you going to wear a cap or a hat in the church? See, the church, I do agree that this guy was talking about the church is beginning to follow too much of the world's culture. The church needs to set its own culture. This is what we do this, and we don't do that. I don't think you want to put people out who come to be saved, but once a person, a member, and been there a while, come on now, you gotta get with the program. But even at these funerals, we gotta do something to disrespecting the church too much. So I live stream a lot of funerals, and the way they come in that church is a dirty shame. And the church let you get away with those things, and then you want to go back and talk about them. And when they tighten up and tell you can't come in here smelling like that, now you're gonna have a problem. But it's a funny thing I will say though, if you come smell like alcohol, they'll stop you, but not weed. We gotta straighten that up. But still, like I was saying before, we gotta stop blaming the church thinking they owe us something. They owe you preaching of the gospel unto salvation. Other than that, you're on your own. The church is for the congregation of the saints And if you're going to have a building you're in, it's got electric. Giving you benevolent is temporary. It's not meant to be forever. And like Roland Martin would say, where do you think the church get money from? Most of the time, they get things donated to them when they help people. Every church don't get those donations. And they can't take it out of their money. They have an overhead. Do you know how much it costs for air in a big building with open space and heat? And some of these churches can be quite large, and that costs a lot of money. Sometimes more money than the people give. That's why a lot of churches have to serve chicken dinners and have special programs to raise money. Or they're just doing all that to raise money. That's right. And they should. They need it. They have to find a way to raise it. You're not giving it. You're not giving it, so they have to raise it some kind of way. And some preachers go in their own pockets to help pay bills. But you don't talk about that kind. You wouldn't talk about the kind you think stealing, but you think stealing. I gotta say, most of these churches have an administrative staff. The pastor don't even get his hands on that money. He get a salary. Most of them. And some of them get a love off him. Some of them don't even get a salary. There's a lot of pastors get a love off him. Then if he get a new car, you talking about he's stealing the money. You know why you think like that? Because that's what you would do. Yeah, you'd have your hand in the basket. That's because you do it, you think everybody else would do it. A lot of people know how to handle money. They've been around money. You have people in a bank handling millions of dollars a day. They don't bother that money. Everybody be around money and don't steal. And if they do, you know where they need to go. Clink, clink. And I wouldn't feel sorry for them. I'm going to tell you right now, you run up in them stores if you want to. If I see you, I write down, if you traveling away, I write down your license plate number myself and give it to the police. I snitch. Yeah, that's what y'all want to call it, but I don't call it snitch. Snitching is if you are part of something and you go tell on the others. That's gang talk anyway. Me, I report a crime. It's not no snitch for me because I don't have nothing to do with it myself. So I'm reporting a crime, which you ought to do too. But all y'all, well, you know how most people snitch. But I'm going to tell you, they say, I heard some people say, they say snitches get stitches. No, snitches get immunity. The ones who get stitches is the one who call themselves not going to tell, and then Big Bubba makes you have to get some stitches. When you drop that soap, that's who gets the stitches. But see, the thing is, the people who say, not getting out my subject, but people who say they don't snitch. Okay. You hear people telling stuff on folks every day they don't have no business in, telling all their business. Look at all the celebrities over there outing each other. You know what we do? Black folks, we snitch on everybody except criminals. We tell everybody business. Then when it comes to a criminal, oh, I don't snitch. The one you need to tell on, you won't tell, but you tell on them too. When they get you down there and they tell you, you find out you looking at some years, they tell. I know some cops and they told me. I got a lot of cops that's friends. They tell me, man, them guys say they don't snitch, they get in there and sing like a mockingbird. When they life on the line, I don't blame them. I would too. If I'm not no criminal. If I did something with you, why should I go to jail and you go home? Because more than likely, if you don't tell on him, he's going to tell on you. Somebody going to tell something. And probably me. Now, I'll be the one singing first. I'll just tell you the truth. I wouldn't want to go to jail for what I do, let alone what somebody else did. But the thing about it, but getting back to my subject, you know, sometimes I get out of our subject sometimes, but we gotta quit trying to blame the church because we're having problems. Now, our problems is our problem. The church have problems too, but they deal with it. And the community don't help the church. Like I said, you help everybody but the church. But then when you're in need, the church is supposed to come running. Or you come running to it, then if you don't get what you want to talk, go around the community talking about the church. Oh, that ain't church, ain't nothing. There are something. You the one ain't nothing. And you wouldn't be talking about them like that. You would know. Church is not there for your special needs. Because the only reason I did this broadcast is because I've seen and heard what many people talking about what they're going to do if they don't get their SNAP benefits and the church better do this and the church better do this. The church ain't better do nothing for you. Man, how arrogant can you be? They'll do it if they want to. And some just can't. See, they get donations to have pantries and give you stuff. They just can't go and spend their money and buy all that food and give it to you. Every day, too. Some of them talking about like they want the new pantry. Like the pantry is supposed to be open every day. Do you know how much food that is? How can a church afford that? And if they could, I wouldn't. That's not that money not for you. Look, if you want the church to help you, why come you went on Sundays and giving donations when you had money? Now that you think you think that you're gonna might have to go without some food, you almost want to villainize the church, and It haven't even happened yet. Not the church fault. It's not the church fault. Yeah, they got overhead bills just like you do. And they're gonna have members who may need help. And their members has to come first. So that's what I wanted to say tonight. Let me show you this, that some people think they're entitled. Here's one woman who said Trump says she can come in the store and get anything she wants. You know she's lying. Like this.
Ma'am, stop right there. Put your hands on the car.
I'm not stealing.
The
The
language
president
is
said I
kind
could
of
have
bad
this
on
food.
here,
Ma'am, step away from the exit.
Y'all are harassing me for groceries. I didn't ring a thing up because it's free now.
That's not how it works. Turn around, place your hands behind your back.
No, you can't do this.
Cuffing left wrist.
This ain't over.
Huh?
See how some people feel entitled? I think somebody owed him something. I think somebody owed him something. She think the store owed it to her because Trump said it, but you know she's lying. You know what? She may not be lying. You know why? Some people are so delusional. They actually believe what they're saying. I found that out with a lot of people. They're not actually lying. They believe what they're saying. To be lying, you have to actually tell something you know that's not true or something that didn't happen. But a lot of these people actually believe that lie, so they're more delusional than lying. Now, I think this woman here is a bit delusional. It seems like she really believes that. If Trump said she could get that food, that may be what she got out of what he was saying. And she believed he was saying, go get the food. But then a lot of the MAGA people are a bit delusional anyway, though. It's almost a waste of time talking to them. Well, it is. I don't even debate with them because it's a waste of time. And why waste your time like that? And just like many of these people, like I was saying, and they were saying, the other guy that I played before was doing all that cursing, talking about what the church owes to the people and the church taking up money. Why everybody got a problem with the church taking up money? All other organizations take up money. You don't have a problem with that. And they're not going to give you nothing. They'll sell you stuff. The church is the only place that will give you something. Because you want to talk against the church, but the other places, all they're going to do is sell you something. Maybe the church will start selling it to you. Then you shut up. Oh no, you'll talk about even worse then. And it's always the Christian church. They don't talk about any other religious organization. Because they don't do nothing for you anyway, so you can't talk about them. But you want to talk against the one who at least tried to do something for you. And they don't have to. They're just doing it out of compassion. Well, I'm not going to hold you long tonight. I just got tired of all that mess I was seeing about the church all day long. Oh man, it was really going in. Like the churches. I was only one guy I saw. He was walking down the street. He took out the church. You don't get a church nothing. You get to the liquor stores, the Arab stores, the Koreans, the beauty supply store. You give to everybody but the church. Then when you get in need, you want the church to give you something. You people who's talking that sometimes when things get better for you, you got a little extra money, why don't you stop by a church? Give them a donation. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to anything, but since you want the church help so much, stop by a church sometime and give them a donation. Since you want to run your mouth so much. Well, I'm not going to hold you long tonight. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. This is No More Water. But look, they did say the SNAP benefits are not coming. And I showed you last night, before I go, who was really getting most of the SNAP benefits. It's not us. These people driving BMWs making middle and upper middle income getting food stamps. See, now that a lot of this is going on, you even got a lot of white people who tell the truth about what's going on. And there was this one white guy who had 53 link cards in his name. I don't know what they call it, where he was able. You know what I'm talking about, the SNAP benefits. They were all in his name. Most people can't get one. How he did that, I don't know. They had so much fraud going on. It wasn't black folks either. He was, I mean, they used to try to act like black women was welfare queens. But them white folks had welfare queens and kings. There was this one black woman who had made a lot of money scamming, doing fraud with food stamp back when Reagan was president. That one woman, and they tried to act like all the black women were welfare queens, coming to the aid office in Cadillacs. Reagan was sitting in his office saying, in the Oval Office saying, they just said, Mr. President, that's just a stereotype. See, this stuff Trump doing, Trump is just Reagan on steroids. It actually started with Reagan. Trickle-down economics. People, see the trickle-down economics in the system, the trickle-down is like it's got a pyramid scheme. Like a pyramid scheme. It trickles down, people at the top get everything, and the people at the bottom, they really get nothing. That's how the capitalist system is. Almost like a pyramid scheme. Top heavy, bottom light. Sometimes the people at the bottom get nothing. Then when they need some help, you want to talk about them. And you've done everything you could to keep them on the bottom. Yeah, but so let's try to make the best way we can, and don't blame other people for our problems. You know, there's gonna be some hard times coming for a lot of people because this economy is about to collapse. So try to save you up a little money because it's gonna collapse. But the thing about it says, don't blame other people for your problems, because no one ever bothers to try to see if they can come by and help the church. See if the church has some problems, because I know it's God's house, but he's got people running it on the physical level. And the church is subject to things like bills and, tornado come, it can hit the church like it hit any other building. The church is not problem free because it's in this physical world. The church is not a spiritual building sitting there. It's in this physical world and it's subject to the things of this physical world. Just like you can be saved, but you got a physical body and it's subject to certain things that physical bodies go through in this physical world. It has nothing to do with your spirit. So let's kind of, if we can look up for one another, fine, but no one's obligated to do it. That's all I've been saying all night. Stop acting as though, or quit thinking that the church is obligated to help you. The reason I say that, there's some churches who are not going to be able to help you. And it's not for you to talk against them and want to come there cursing and clowning. Because some of them brothers just made pistol whip you up in there. You go too far. Yeah, but the thing about it is, a lot of churches is not able to. Some are not. Just find the ones who are doing it and keep your mouth out the ones who's not. So, we can look out for each other, but don't think people are obligated to you. They're not. You need to also make better life choices to not get yourself in those positions. See, let me finish what I was saying. This one woman I showed you last night, she come She's driving a 2025 BMW, getting for $4,100 in food stamps. This one white man was getting 4,000 some and was angry because they cut it down to 300. And this one woman was getting, I'd say it was $10,100 in food stamps, but it was in total benefits a month. That's 6 figures. And you know them people not spending all that, buying all food with it. They're selling some of that. But look, 10,000. She said she's been getting over $10,000 for 13 years. Do you know how much that is? 13 years. 6 figures every month off of welfare, food stamps, and Section 8. That's more than what most people make working 2 jobs. Yeah, she's complaining to me. You let me do it. Well, I think I took that one down. I wish I had it to play. She's complaining. You enable me to do this. I'm gonna buy gas. You should save some of that money. You're getting 6 figures every year and don't have to work. You didn't save nothing. Even if you couldn't put it in the bank where the government sees, you didn't put nothing away. Could you imagine getting 6 figures and don't have to remember to sit at home? You know how hard most people have to work to get 6 figures? Most people don't. I think it's like 5% of the population make 6 figures or something like that, somewhere like that. But for black folks, it's even lower. Some people just feel entitled. But they're not. They just feel that way. Because, we can, but I just don't like people trying to act like the church owes them something. Because it don't. The church owes you the gospel of Christ, and for the saints to come in, and is obligated to the saints. The saints come and gather together and hear the gospel. Other than that, they just doing it because they want to. Especially if you're not a member. They're just helping you. They're not obligated to. That benevolent fund they take up, that's for their members. And it's not for their members to live off of. It's if they need some help. Anyone that's helping you, they don't mean to help you all your life, like the woman that was on food stamps getting over $10,000 food stamp. But I thought that was food stamp, but it was a whole, all her entitlement. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot. And that's not meant to just help you forever. Anytime someone's doing something for you like that, it's not meant forever. Like I said, if the church feeds you, they don't want to be feeding you for 10 years. It's to help you out. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. I'm not going to hold you long tonight. Oh, I did hold you long. How am I learning? I used to wouldn't say too much. How am I learning to talk this much? But I thank you for tuning in to No More Water Fire. Next time I had to come on this page. I got to get my channel page back up. I'm on YouTube also. Starting the first of the year, I'll be on Roku. I'm going to try to get this cable channel back up and running. Well, I can. Cable just costs too much to run, and people don't even watch it anymore. It's a money drain. Yeah, but thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm Larry Duncan Allen. This has been No More Water. Bye next time.